Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Cancer, so tonight we have the Devil card. And the Devil card is one that we see a lot in pop culture, right? Like whenever you hear or see about the tarot card in any kind of movie or TV show or whatever, right? The Devil card, the Death card, the Hanged Man, these are the ones that we usually see. Don't be afraid of the Devil card, okay? The Devil card, in my estimation and in my relationship to it, is one of change. I mean, deep change. This is the energy of the rebellious thinker, the rebellious feeler, the rebellious creative. This is a feeling of standing against the current. And even worse yet, right? Changing direction in midstream. Ooh, people don't like that. Not usually anyways, right? They want to perceive you in one way, right? They know this is what you believe, and this is how you do it, and this is what that. And when you decide to switch it up from a deep place of really, authentic alignment. Not just some surfacey, wish-washy, aligning ourselves to things for our benefit or because it's easier, which we all do. But when we got that devil energy, that comes in there and it says, nope, not for you. Nope. I'm not doing this. Nope. No. So that's not a bad energy in my estimation. Okay, now let's see what these tea leaves are going to tell us. Woo, that one was all right. And so thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. It's always such a huge honor to be able to bring these readings to you. So the first image that I am seeing, I am feeling is this large feminine energy here in the middle, okay? We can see it looks like we have an older feminine energy here, and it looks like the head, like a robe kind of coming down, and this is the full body here, but being held by a larger feminine energy. You can see the head up here, kind of the skirt or robe or whatever it is. And to me, this is like just purely saying we go from, right, being taken care of by the world, by the universe, by the many mothers that we will have along the way. And then at some point it shifts, and it is our work, our duty to be of service to those who came before us, to hold, to cherish, to respect, to venerate in some circumstances, not all of them, right? Our ancestors, our elders, those who helped mold us into what we are and what we are becoming and rebuilding and healing and all of those things. So I feel like for you, Cancer, this is an important time. An important time to get with the goddess, to get with the divine feminine energy. To look into the great past and into the future, both at the same time, one eye going one way, the other going the other, because I don't know. Maybe you are like Yanis. Maybe you have a head on the back of your head or a face on the back of your head and one going forward. I don't know. Probably not though, right? So I do feel like this is a time though where you are deriving a lot of meaning, strength, and understanding, which is being transmuted into, yes, wisdom. How do we transmute knowledge, information into wisdom? Yeah, usually through practical experience, applying that knowledge to whatever it is, and also contemplation. Contemplation, experience and contemplation. Two things that we all need a little more of, right? Okay, so we have that. Now, I feel like in some ways you are going through a period of time where I almost feel like there is a sense of you're returning to almost something akin to like imposter syndrome. And what is that? That's like when we're doing something which probably we've worked hard to get there, right? We're doing something like, for instance, a job, a career. Like you spent many years in school. You went to all the different colleges, got all the different, degrees, certifications, licensing, all that stuff, right? You become a doctor or something. And when you're in the work, you start to feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why would these people give me all this responsibility? Like, I don't even know how I found myself here. Like, they have the wrong person. How am I a doctor? This feeling of being an imposter, putting it on, right? Faking till you make it, maybe? I don't know. But I feel that, yes, you've had this at times. And I know, Cancer, you are one that maybe will never admit this to anybody but yourself or your close ones. And I'm not saying it's a pridefulness thing, but you like to protect yourself, protect your idea of yourself. We all do. But I feel like for whatever reason, you're just like shifting alignment into this place of starting to feel that like rising anxiety of, do I know what I'm doing? Yeah, you do, Cancer. You're amazing, by the way. But we all have these moments. And I think that this is usually something, I'm not saying for everybody, but usually something that starts to come up when we are outgrowing our configuration. When things need to be readjusted, when you've come out of that flow state. Now, what is the flow state? That's like when you are doing something that you just get into that place. It's not here, it's not there, it's just kind of in between. You're just going with the thing, like a meditative state. If you think of like somebody painting a picture, or like a person who is like bicycling, right? They're cycling. You get into you've gone for, 15, 20 miles. You start to really get into this state of mind. Well, at least anyways. And I'm using this example because I've started cycling. And when I get to those long miles, I'm getting into 15 miles, 20 miles. I start to get into that real, almost euphoric at times, flow place, right? Flow state. And so when we start to kind of have the tremors of coming out of that, of knowing what we're doing, of being fully immersed in something, We start to get that distorted feeling of self, of the world, of our beliefs, of our alignments, of, and it might be, we start to sense this isn't going to, be sustainable. This is not something that, I need a little drink here, a little water. We've had so much smoke where I'm at from the Canadian wildfires. So I'm not sick, and I don't really, my allergies have been pretty okay. But the smoke came. So now I just feel like, ooh. Anyhow, so I see you returning to this anxiety. Okay, so let's prepare for that. Let's think about that. Now, the other part of this, there seems to be an arrival in your life. We have the number 68 as well. And it seems to be a beloved thing. It almost feels like, this is a kind of strange one, but it feels like a very conscious being arriving into your life, but not human. I don't think this is like a human person. I almost feel like you have some very distinct plant or mineral or object that most would consider to be inanimate or lacking consciousness, at least how we understand consciousness, right? But I do feel, and we have a person riding a horse, so I feel there's an arrival. We also have a bird up there, so that is a message coming for you. But also, we have this, like, it almost, to me, looks like an icon, but I think that this is really like an indicator of something beloved coming to the front of your life, right? Face to face with you. Like, it is coming out of the shadowy back area of the room and stepping forward into the light. And here you are meeting it face to face. I know this seems bizarre, but I do feel that this is like maybe it's a plant, maybe it's like a statue or a book even. I don't know, but I feel that it has a conversation to have with you. Many conversations. I feel like this is something that will stay with you throughout the rest of your life if you care for it correctly. And I feel like this is an object that really, it almost as though it brings in the energy of the oracle. And that's what it really feels like. It's like a beacon of this psychic energy, like a channel of it. And I feel that having this thing around, and calling it a thing, that feels disrespectful. Having this beloved around is what I should say, will transform you. What that means is up to you. But having this around will transform you. So I suggest, and I am an animist, I have to admit. What is an animist? I believe in consciousness and all things, most things. All things, I don't know. But yes, I do believe consciousness runs through or is within, and all things are, and yes, so on and so forth. I just keep seeing this like an altar, but just this energy that draws you into it. I keep seeing gold. It's like a solar plate of some kind. It has a very solar energy. A very solar energy. But the interesting part is that it also has like a deeply hidden side. And I kept thinking, for some reason, and I don't know why, but this the same energy that I get around some of the plants that exist within the nightshades, the deliriums, and well, they're used for a lot of things, right? Medicinal and otherwise, but kind of almost this very lunar energy on the underside of this thing. So I feel that there is a real need for respect and to be careful with this thing. This part, for those of you who are not superstitious, or you don't keep altars, or you're not interested in, caring for something in a spiritual context, right? Just kind of disregard some of this. But I am the opposite of those things. So in my world, it is. We are devoted to our companions, not unlike this little beautiful tree that we've had growing since I think the beginning of my when I first started my readings. I think I got her maybe a few months after I started, but she is continued to be very happy. But all of our beautiful companions, it does pay to love, to be beloved, to communicate, to commune with these beings. Okay, so I feel this being a huge shift in your life, really. And I know it's hard to explain it unless you have experienced this kind of energetic exchange with something in your life that is not human. But you maybe have not realized it. Something came into your life that really changed everything for you. Now, we have the number, it looks like 92 or 929, 929. Now, it looks like we have a large masculine energy as well. We have birds going to a bird bath here in the spiritual sector on the rim here. And we have a child and a masculine energy, probably something akin to a father. We also have the duck. So I feel like there seems to be this feeling of your connection to your masculine archetype or role model or caretaker, if it was a father, a brother, a grandfather, or maybe it was like a mother playing both roles, or whatever. But I feel that there seems to be like there was such a potent connection at a young age, but then that something shifted when you were maybe, I don't know, around 9 or 10, I imagine, where I feel like there was a separation, or maybe, I don't know, a distraction, almost a feeling of this person becoming like emotionally unavailable, maybe working more often, moving a little further away, or I don't know exactly what. But I feel that through this experience, which I believe almost it feels so much more excruciating than we remember. I think so often because so many people get separated, get divorced, or don't live together or whatever, we forget how painful the workings of the adult world can be as a kid. You know, having your parents separate when you're at an age where you are still young and very emotional, but also old enough to really kind of understand what's going on, but not to the full extent. So there's a lot of mystery, but a lot of emotion and a lot of, well, you know, feelings of I want things my way, and, you know, whatever. We all know, you know, what these situations can feel like, be like, and so on. But so I feel like this is like a profound thing, right? And I feel like because of the, you know, the world is a difficult place for all of us, and we all go through our ordeals, and some, you know, it might seem like go through things that are way worse. Like, you know, for instance, my parents passed away when I was 11 and 12. And you might think, okay, well, that's way worse than somebody's parents divorcing. But it's all relative, right? Suffering is relative. Our tower moments in our life, it's relative. This isn't the, like, suffering Olympics, which we've all partaken in, right? We've all been there. we've all done that game. But it's, in reality, it is all relative to the person, to the circumstances, and so on. So I feel like this is something that was profoundly painful. Is profound. It still feels painful. So I feel like probably there's a certain degree of feeling robbed of this relationship, or at least where and how deeply you could have been connected, or you perceive that to be. Okay. Now, with the birds going to the fountain, I feel like something that maybe you have, I feel like you have connected with people in your life seeking some emotional fulfillment, right? Because, listen, we all have our wounds from when we're young, when we're going through those developmental stages, and things happen, and, you know, sometimes we get stuck in a loop of trying to heal this acute situation, or, you know, this situation that has long-lasting implications, and we don't always realize we're stuck in the loop. We're, you know, acting out the same kind of pains, or finding situations that bring us the same kind of pain because it's familiar, but also because it is screaming to be processed and integrated, right? And so I feel like, and here we go, we're getting to it. I feel like you have recognized in yourself that sometimes you have just accepted garbage from people because they felt something like a home. Maybe in brief moments, maybe most of the time, but there's that part. There's that part that just never feels quite right, and sometimes it feels quite wrong. But I see you really coming to an understanding about some of your patterns, some of your coping mechanisms. I feel like this is some of the deepest work we can do. It's not easy. In fact, it's quite painful at times. But it is most necessary, isn't it? If we're going to get the life that we want, that we know we deserve. Well, baby, you better get on a different timeline because this one is going into the great chaos. Sorry. But I'm sorry. It was really, yes. I use humor as a way to not sob all the time. But yeah, if you want the life you want, sometimes, man, we got to do that deep shadow work. And I think you are right there, Cancer. You know what? And if I could, and I'm sending energetically, right? There is a great big hug for you because I am proud of you. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you. You are doing the work that most people say, no, I'm going to pass. Maybe next time, maybe next incarnation cycle, right? No, you are doing it. And I thank you. And I thank you because listen, it might feel like when we're doing interior work, when we are coming to terms with some of these parts of ourselves, that it's just selfish. Like, who cares? It's just for me. It doesn't affect that many other people. Maybe my kids or my family or my, direct private community of people, right? Family, close friends, so on and so forth. But the reality is, and this is the reality I live in anyways, the most important work, it's done by us healing and lifting ourselves up. And it just absolutely pours out into the collective. It is like, anything else. If one part of a greater whole is starting to corrode, right? We have to get to work or it's going to really take down the whole collective. Well, if every little part of that says, well, it's not really my job or I'm not really interested in that, then what happens? The decay spreads. Everything is in, getting into a place of dissolution or at least going towards that, right? And so when we go into self, when we do this work, this soul alchemy, this, human development, it begins to heal the whole. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, but it do. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't make the rules, or maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe we did. All right, let's take a look. We have a person sitting here with a fishing pole. Okay, so we have money on the mind. Imagine that, Cancer. No, I'm kidding. I love Cancer people so much. And that's why I joke with you all so much because all of my, besides my daughter who's a Gemini and my best friend who is an Aries, all my favorite people have been Cancers. So my husband's a Cancer, my mom was a Cancer, and, some of the beloveds and so on have been Cancers. And I know you would never love to be marked as somebody who really highly prioritizes resources and money, but you all are. And I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about being somebody who is money driven. I don't know. I guess because I come from a world of, music and art and poverty, like a lot of poverty. This idea of chasing money is just grotesque. How dare you? I don't know about that. That's ridiculous, right? To not have like the drive, right? And it's not just about money. I'm talking resources to take care of yourself and build out the life that you want. We need resources. And to prioritize that, really, I mean, it comes down to being the world builder, right? If you want to build something, you need to build it from something with something. Yeah. So, yeah, I do. I think that you are money driven. I think at times you maybe are, I don't know, maybe you try to keep that on the DL a little bit, or maybe it is that you just don't talk about it with people. You keep it close to your, close to your chest. Is that the right one? I don't know. I do a lot of mixed metaphors and stuff. But yeah, I feel like right now you're thinking about, and because it's not cast, you can see it's like kind of, they're holding the fishing pole. But we also, we have fish out here. We have a lot of opportunities. And I feel like you're going through an innovative phase here. I think that you are conceiving of maybe like new business opportunities, new, maybe like, my husband, thinking of new content, new channels. My husband, you know him. He's over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. And if you've never seen him before, if you don't know him, you're missing out. Go check him out. Again, Dove and Serpent Tarot. And so, anyways, this is going to be a time where you are really inspired to think of outside of the box, right? Okay, let's see. We're going to pick 3 lucky numbers. We have number 59, number 81, 59, 81, and 74. Number 74. Okay, now we're going to finish with our wild bohemian affirmation cards, and I'll just go ahead. I'm going to flip through, stop where it feels right. Here we go. 27, I am seer. Deeply relax into the limitless potential of your totality to receive clear destiny visions. Clear destiny visions. Well, I guess you're a seer then. Are you having visions? I love visions. I have them quite often. I'm not like in a braggy way. I know it sounds like I'm bragging. I'm not. It's distracting. I have a lot of imagery. I don't know always if it's my imagination going wild, or the other thing that really gets me is when I'm about to encounter a stranger who has really, really potent energy, but like turmoil. Usually when it's turmoil and I don't know I'm going to meet them. Usually, and this is weird, usually it's when I'm cooking and I'm at home. It's like lunchtime. I'm cooking lunch for everybody. And I start to have some visions, right? And I can't always tell, like, is this going to be in a reading? Is this somebody that I am going to read for? Is this something going on, in the greater collective? I don't know. I don't always know. And then I'll meet the person, like at the grocery store or one of my daughter's activities or whatever. And it's wild to see, you connect the energies, okay, this was this person. But it is such a trip to have these kind of visions pop up. And I don't know how to explain it. I do to my husband. I try to explain how it happens with me to my husband sometimes. But it's like, it is almost like, I don't know, like you're watching a movie a bit, right? But it's like, it's not, it's in between somewhere. I don't know how to explain it. it's like daydreaming with your eyes open, I guess. I don't know. Like evoking images. If you're if I don't know, when somebody says imagine whatever, do you see it visually? You know, that's kind of how it comes up, and it's so wild. But I'm always interested. If you do have visions, how do they manifest for you? I don't often meet people who will own up to having visions also. That's the other thing. Because people, I think, this is what I assume. People don't, well, they don't want people to think they're crazy. I think that's the big thing. Is like, okay, this sounds wild to most people. You know, with me, I'm very nonchalant about it. So I'm sure people are like, did that lady just say that she... Did that lady just say that she sees things like in waking life? Like what? You know? But yeah, I think that there are a lot of people that don't talk about it. Or it comes up and it's like, oh, why am I like fantasizing about this? Or why am I in the shower thinking of, you know, doom scenarios or scenarios in general? And sometimes it is that you're having this interaction with the whatever it is, you know, the great, the ineffable, the, you know, the mystery. Yeah. And so anyways, I'm on a tangent, but I love you guys. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Let's see what else. That's it, I guess. Did we do it all? Yes, Cancer. We got through it. We did it. All right, here we go. It's almost Cancer season too. Oh my goodness. Oh wait. First we have Gemini. I forgot. My daughter's birthday is coming up here. We're in Gemini right now. Coming up here in a couple weeks, and then it's Cancer season. All right. Love you guys. Good night.